There once lived a slave whose name was Androcles. His Roman master was very cruel and often beat him with a big stick. At last, the poor slave could stand it no longer, and he made up his mind to run away. "There I will be free, and my cruel master will not be able to find me. I will leave this dreadful place and go away into the country," he said to himself. Androcles knew that he would need to be very careful. If the soldiers caught him trying to escape, they would put him in prison. The slave waited until it was dark and then slipped quietly out of the house. He made his way very carefully out of the town without being seen by any of the soldiers. When he reached the country, Androcles ran as fast as he could. He was so tired and weary that in a few minutes he was fast asleep. On and on he went until he came to a large forest. The slave walked for many hours through the woods. There, at the mouth of the cave and coming towards him, was a huge lion. Alas, they told him that he would be put to death and that he would be torn to pieces by a lion. The emperor was there, and he was seated on a high throne. When all was ready, Androcles was left alone in the middle of the circus. To his surprise, the beast did not spring at him but limped slowly to his side. The animal, with red angry eyes and wide-open jaws, bounded swiftly towards the lonely slave in the middle of the circus. Everyone expected it to spring upon the man and crush him with a mighty blow from its paw. The animal held up one of its front paws and moaned sadly as if it was in need of help. His clothes were torn by the thorny branches of the trees, and he was very hungry. The lion went slowly forward, wagged its tail, and rubbed its head against him just like a pet cat at home. Androcles knew at once that it was his old friend who had lived with him in the cave. Suddenly, he saw a large cave in the side of a hill. When the slave told him the wonderful story, the king was so pleased that he set him free and gave him the lion as a present. "What a good hiding place," he cried. "No one will find me here." Everyone knew their story and smiled or waved as they passed. The lion followed his master everywhere he went, and at night the faithful animal slept outside his door. Androcles entered the cave and soon found a cozy spot to rest. At once he saw the cause of all the trouble. A large sharp thorn had stuck in the animal's foot, and the creature was suffering great pain. As gently as he could, the slave pulled out the thorn. The runaway slave had not slept very long when he was wakened by a loud roar. Very bravely, Androcles took hold of the paw and looked at it. Every day, the great beast went out hunting and brought him back food. At night, the runaway slave slept in a cozy bed at the back of the cave. The lion lay near the mouth of the cave so that Androcles would come to no harm. When the thorn was out, the lion was very pleased. The animal wagged its tail, purred like a big cat, and licked the hands of the man who had been so kind. For 3 years, Androcles and the lion shared the same home. One day, Androcles was walking in the forest when he was captured by some Roman soldiers who were hunting wild animals. On the day that he was to die, many people went to the great circus to watch the terrible sight. Soon a loud roar was heard as a huge hungry lion was let loose. Suddenly, when only a few feet away from poor Androcles, it stopped and sniffed the air. The people were silent. They had never seen anything like this before. The people were amazed at the strange sight, and the emperor sent for Androcles. For many years, Androcles kept the lion as a pet, and they were always together.